Hello, and welcome back to the 4th episode of the Battle Jackets London podcast. You join me again, Louis Noguera, with my two good friends, Jack and Finn.
How are we all?
Hey, everyone.
I can't believe it's 4 episodes already.
I know.
We're flying through them, and I'm thoroughly enjoying them. So I hope everyone who's watching and listening is too.
That's great.
Yeah, I want to give another thank you to everyone who's commented, watched along, just supported us so far. All the feedback has been great. So yeah, let's crack on. This week we're going to be, of course, catching up with what we've been up to, any new patches, any new purchases. We're going to be talking a little bit about different battle jackets for different genres of metal music.
Yep.
There's so many different styles out there, so we're just going to touch on a few of those. There's another festival that a couple of us are going to that we want to talk about. And Jack's going to do a little bit of a tattoo tour, I think. And of course, we've got another patch challenge to add to our podcast Battle Vest. And yeah, we'll wrap things up with answering some of your questions on the Mosh Pit Council.
Perfect.
So yeah,
sounds
guys,
good.
what have you been up to? Any new purchases?
Yeah, I've recently acquired some new patches.
I like that. Recently acquired. Didn't buy them. You stole them.
Yeah. So yeah, I got a couple from In and Path patches. Some really good thrash patches out there if you want to check them out. Got this nice alcoholizer.
Nice.
Drunk or Dead.
Quite a big patch.
Yeah, it's quite a nice sort of rectangle size. A lot of colours.
Border.
Border is kind of a reddy orange. Yeah, I like it.
Do you know where it's going to go yet? Or is this to be decided?
To be decided, sort of.
Yeah.
I've also recently bought a new jacket.
Oh, you've been splashing
I
the
know.
cash
Well,
this week.
Not really. For £3.
Nice.
3 quid.
£3 for a denim jacket. It's not like a Levi's or like a name brand, but it will do for some
job,
jackets.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fair, 3 quid is...
Yeah. I need a new one because a couple episodes ago, you might remember, Louis, you got me I bought a back patch off
That's
you,
right,
the
biocancer
biocancer one. So I need a new jacket to put that on. I'm thinking these ones will probably go
Very
along with
nice. What else do you get?
Got a very nice municipal waste one.
God, the colours on
Art of
that are
Party,
so bright.
It's so vibrant. But yeah, love this album. One of my favourites, definitely.
Same as on the back of one of your jackets, right?
Yeah, it's on the back of this one here if you're watching.
There's the front of the jacket
Yeah,
if you're
it's the
watching.
front.
We'll put a photo up.
Yeah. Yeah, and the last one is this Cryptopsy one.
Oh,
Lovely.
sparkly thread
Very
has a special
sparkly.
place in my heart.
It is so nice. It's also got this kind of sparkly thread on the logo, and it's like little. It's so nice.
It's a very sparkly
Yeah,
patch.
it's from Dark Prods. It's Cryptopsy, None So Vile, nice hexagon patch.
Nice.
Those are the patches I've bought recently.
Nice. I bought a few patches recently.
Surprise.
What a surprise. Don't have any of them with me. They're still waiting for them all to arrive.
Are they being laser cut at home or are they...
A couple of them maybe.
Yeah.
Some of them definitely not. So first up, I bought a 1914 patch off of Vinted, which is a really, really nice price. So going to see if I can squeeze that onto the death metal jacket without cutting into it, because I don't want to cut into it.
This is the infamous death metal jacket that nobody's seen.
That no one's seen yet. What else? I picked up a Cattle Decapitation Monolith of Inhumanity patch.
Nice.
Guttural Slug Megalodon patch.
Very nice.
Yeah. And Depravity patch as well. It's more just artwork from the vinyl. There's just like in one of the inserts and stuff like that.
Really
So it's
nice.
a little bit different. And then, well, patch wise, that's it. So I'll see what I can do with those.
Yeah.
Also picked up a tee recently as well. So we'll show that off quickly.
Any guess as to who the band is?
What a surprise. Celestial Sanctuary tee.
Nice. Cool print.
So just a really cool print. There's no back print, short sleeves, nothing on those either.
Right out of Finn Street.
Right up Finn Street. It's just pretty cool tee.
It is a nice tee.
yeah.
Kind of an off-white print as well.
Yeah, a bit of an off-white.
Is it
can tell
off-white
it's
or
been
just
worn.
dirty?
I'd say it's big mix of both,
Bit of both.
maybe. Yeah, it's definitely been worn.
Yeah.
But so I picked this one off of eBay.
eBay.
This one was eBay, and it was just over a tenner.
That's not
So
bad.
that's a steal.
We're like
Great,
5
yeah.
minutes in, and we've already mentioned Depop, Vinted, and eBay. Clearly, we like our cheap merch.
We like our cheap merch. We love cheap merch. So aside from that, that's all I've really bought. But yeah.
I have not bought any more patches. I'm still financially recovering from the spiritual healing back patch, which is still yet to go on a vest. It's currently in my pile of vintage back patches, which I think I'll bring in for another app. We can kind of look at them because if I see a nice vintage back patch, I'm buying it. I don't have any vest for it or pretty much any space for it either, but I have to have it. Future me will thank me for it. That's something. I also bought myself a t-shirt because we're going to Incineration first. Otherwise, not that I would go shirtless if I hadn't bought myself a t-shirt.
Just the vest.
Just the vest. That'd be a cold move. I like that. But no, I bought myself a shirt for one of the bands that play in there off of eBay. It was like 10 quid.
Not bad.
So pretty good. I haven't actually opened it. So let's have a look.
Oh, I can't wait to see what this one
I'm excited.
Right. There it is. What do you guys think? Can you read
very
it?
nice.
Oh, yeah.
Spectral Wound.
Spectral Wound.
It is Spectral Wound. So quite a nice black and white tee. Don't have many black metal shirts. And it's got back print too. So,
nice.
God, it smells a bit having taken it out of that. Yeah, that's unpleasant. But I will be washing that and maybe wearing it to Incineration.
Where they're playing.
It's a sensible choice.
That's a good
say
choice.
so.
Better than my Kanye Burzum shirt from last week.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, it's cool. It's got like, the logo on the front and on the back. It's got some kind of typical black metal design. Yeah, but yeah, cool. Off eBay, extra large for a tenner. So
We love our £10 t-shirts.
we do. Oh, we are so
Love
cheap.
our £10 t-shirts.
Nobody sponsored the podcast, so we just everything's coming out of our pockets. But yeah, let's get rid of that. We are So Jack, you mentioned your death metal jacket.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads us into different kinds of battle jackets for different genres of metal.
Yeah.
Where do we start with this?
I mean, I'll take it away with. So I think most people have some sort of theme to their vests or their jackets. Doesn't really matter what. This one has no particular theme. I just call it, as I said before, my everything vest. It's just got a lot of different stuff that I like, whether it's black metal, doom, thrash, death, whole range of stuff. But as I said, working on a just purely death metal, a little bit death metal adjacent, some black and death stuff thrown in there, but predominantly what all falls under the realm of death metal.
How is that jacket going to be different aesthetically, being a death metal jacket? What are the boxes it needs to tick?
So,
putting you on the spot there.
Yeah, you have
We've not
put me
spoken
on.
about this before.
No, you have put me on the spot there. Well, every single patch obviously is a death metal album, death metal band, whether it's just a logo or something like that. But so aside from that, it doesn't really have any other criteria. I mean, some people might do a death metal vest, but it's only like black, red, and white. Whereas it's very similar to this one in the sense it's just a whole lot of stuff.
So it's going to be covered.
Completely covered, exactly like this. Covered more than this.
Yeah.
There's no hidden little gaps and stuff. They're all getting covered.
Mad.
Nice.
So it's going to be decked
Can I wear
out.
your everything vest when you're...
I wear my everything vest and I wear the total death metal vest.
I like it.
That I'll be showing off soon as well because it's very nearly done. So
Well, that's what you're doing for your death metal jacket. I think the question that somebody commented is, how are different types of battle jackets different for different types of metal music?
yeah.
So I'm thinking more, what does a black metal battle jacket look like versus what does a thrash metal kind of... Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking with a thrasher jacket, typically they're blue.
Yeah, I'd say typically blue denim.
Why is there a difference? Because I don't have a blue jacket.
Yeah.
And mine has got a lot of thrash on it. But I suppose your typical one would have... I'm either thinking... Well, I've got actually a Deo's vest in my head.
Yes.
Which is a guy we all know from London. He's got a blue jacket and he's got lots of great patches on it, but they're spaced out and it's not completely decked.
Yeah.
That's in my head what I'm kind of thinking of a thrasher vest.
Yeah.
I feel like we would all agree for a black metal vest, it will pretty much be black and white,
It
like the
typically
walls
is,
in the
yeah.
throne room patch that you brought in
That's right.
a few episodes ago.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that even the T-shirt today,
Yeah,
that it screams black
It
metal.
does.
Just so I reckon, yeah, they follow certain color trends as well, depending on the genre.
I think when I think of a black metal vest, I think of Cameron Pollinger's
Yeah, from
vest.
Bristol. Yeah,
So I hope he doesn't mind me just sticking a photo up of him and his vest, but his is like completely decked out, but it's really, really neat.
yeah,
Like all the patches are perfectly aligned and there's the same amount on different sides and they're all black and white and they're pretty much all logo patches.
yeah.
I find that black metal vests tend to be more logo patches.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't know whether it's because the artwork for those, black metal albums wouldn't translate as well as
Possibly,
as a different, some of them are a lot darker,
yeah,
designs.
Yeah.
So whether that wouldn't translate as well as a patch, and the logos are all cool. Black metal logos are cool.
yeah.
So that's kind of what I think of when I go for
Yeah.
a black metal vest.
I'd
It'd
agree.
be. I don't think I've ever seen a blue denim jacket that is a black metal jacket.
Yeah, that just feels wrong.
It feels
See?
wrong thinking about it.
This
doesn't
is
it?
why
Yeah.
this stuff's worth talking about because it is wrong. But why is it wrong?
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. But going back to Thrasher, like I've got a black jacket, so I feel like that's one of the genres that can quite easily have both.
Yeah.
As along with death metal, I've seen some quite cool death metal jackets that are like that
Yeah.
really washed out blue, which is cool. What about stoner vests? What were we thinking there?
Stoner vest. Oh, that's good. Typically, maybe like a lot of greys and
Yeah.
green patches, but not like neon patches like the Gorguts patch that you've got on that one.
Yeah.
I think that's too much of a.
Yeah.
It's too neon for a,
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
stoner vest.
Yeah,
I'd say for the people watching, maybe that the sort of Acid Witch patch.
that's
sort
a
of,
great band,
Yeah, like
Acid Witch. I love that.
Swampy green.
Yeah, swampy.
But I would say the vest itself would typically be more the color of the jacket that Finn's wearing right now, which is kind of like
sort of like a grey.
like a grey. That's
a
just what
washed
comes.
grey,
maybe,
yeah.
Washed grey comes to mind for more of a stoner, doomy style vest. Are there any other styles of vests? Well, Slam's coming to mind,
Yeah, Slam.
but that's I think they tend to be very very colourful.
Yeah.
I think that's mainly just the Slam band logo. Really.
There we go. We were
Yeah.
having this conversation earlier.
Yeah.
They just. I'm just thinking of the Banana Man again, and his vest has got so many different colours on it. It is
It's
like
crazy.
Yeah.
it's just like someone got a bucket of all different coloured paints and just threw it on a
Yeah.
jacket. I mean, no,
It's great.
No, hey, it's great.
It's
But,
so
like,
good.
That's just what comes to mind. I think that's similar to the black metal vest. That it's the logos make it what it
It has
is.
distinct characteristics.
Whereas
yeah.
the death metal thrasher stuff,
It's a little bit more chaotic, just sort of
yeah,
thrown together a little bit more.
and you
It's
get
not-
more of those album
Yeah.
looking
definitely.
patches. I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I would say so. Yeah.
So I think those are most of the genres. Trying to think if there are any others that we've missed out.
For like traditional
say-
heavy metal, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, that's
Blue
more of a
vests a little
blue,
bit, yeah.
blue and more spaced out patches.
Yeah.
I think less is more on those ones.
Yeah.
I was going
Typically-
to say also sort of like punk stuff.
True. Yeah, I mean,
That's quite a big, another like sort of different kind of music genre that like jackets are a huge part of.
for sure.
Yeah.
And I'd say there are a lot more sort of DIY patches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of the very like prominent white thread on that.
Yeah. What do they call it? The floss. They
Yeah,
use
these, like,
floss. don't
dental
they? Yeah,
floss sometimes.
dental floss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Studs.
Yeah, a lot of studs and spikes as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, those are sick. Some of those punk
Yeah.
jackets and the crust trousers too.
Crush trousers
So-
are a big
Yeah.
one, yeah.
But when you think about it, there are so many different like subcultures,
Oh yeah.
and what the how the clothes you wear can represent these different. It's actually really interesting. I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
It varies. Yeah, all the subgenres, it varies.
Yeah. Then you've got the everything vest.
And you've got the everything vest where you
That's just a
chuck
cop-out.
everything on it. Yeah.
Yeah, the punk ones that's a good shout for. I hadn't even
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about that. Go back to the traditional metal ones. I've seen that a lot of the older guys I see at gigs and festivals, they tend to have like less patches, but really, really. I mean, they're all vintage because they're ones that they would have
Yeah.
bought at our age, and those are really, really cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would. If I was wearing a jacket that had less patches on it, it'd have to have like 2 patches, maybe just like a logo one on a pocket,
Yeah.
and it would typically be a long sleeve, and I'd maybe have one on the sleeves.
Yeah.
That's what I'd rock if I was wearing God, did I just say if that's what I'd rock?
That's really
That's so cringe. That's what I'm going to leave that in just so that people know that I didn't, whatever. But yeah, if I was wearing a jacket with less patches, it would probably be a long sleeve and just a few logos, maybe just a back patch. But that's not to say I don't like these old school traditional.
Yeah.
But those are ace, and the patches on those jackets are worth more than like some of my whole jackets put together.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much all of the different genres.
That says, the main sort of what you'd want to.
Yeah. Oh, it's just making me think of like all the different things I
Yeah.
need to make now.
Yeah.
I want to make so many different vests.
Finish this death metal one because
I know.
the rumor has it it's been in the works for a while.
It has been in the works for a while. Too long.
Anyway, that's different kinds of jackets. But you make whatever jacket you want.
Yeah.
That's the aim of this podcast is get more people making jackets and just giving it a go.
Just
So,
throw on what you like.
Anyone
That's
who says
the main
we're
thing.
anyone who says we're gatekeeping it in the comments is
You're
that's
very
not the
wrong.
case. Just give it a go. And we want to see your jackets.
Yeah.
So you can send in photos either on my Instagram, Battle Jackets London, or you can send us an email at battlejacketslondonpod@gmail.com. Yeah. While you do that, send us pictures, but also any questions you've got or topics, just give us a shout. We'd love to talk about it in our Mosh Pit Council section, which is coming up later.
Yeah.
But now, I think we've wrapped that up nicely. We're going to talk about another festival, which a couple of us are going to in the summer. We're going to Bloodstock. I've been to Bloodstock once before, just quite a few years ago. It was, I don't even know who the headliner was because I didn't stay. I went for Exodus and that was pretty much it. But it was also the same day that Machine Head did a surprise set. So
I was that year. That's the only time I went to.
Oh, really?
Bloodstock as well. Yeah.
who'd you go with?
I just went on my own.
See, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Like, we just didn't know anyone. I went with my dad and my brother, which is the go-to, and it has been for a long time. But like I think you were saying in an earlier episode, you didn't go to a gig until you were, what was it, 2019, 2020 or something?
Yeah, 2020. I think.
So like, it's too separated. All metal. There's a lot of us out there. I think we're not actually that good at finding each other.
Yeah.
But hopefully this is going to be a good platform for, well, first of all, telling us you're going to things so that we can meet you and have people to go with. I think that's one of the best things that's come out of me doing Battle Jackets London is the fact that I now know people everywhere and can, I've always got people to go to gigs with, festivals. I'm never going to have to go on my own. Neither are you guys now.
I know, it was brilliant.
But yeah, back to Bloodstock. Can you remember who was headlining that year? Because if you were there as well.
There was Behemoth. They did the first day headlining, I think.
Right.
Merciful Fate, and then I think Lamb of God.
Because I drove up there and back in the day, so we didn't stay all night. It was also so hot.
Oh, that was the worst bit.
It was so hot.
Yeah, this was the summer where it was reaching 40 degrees.
Yeah.
And it was
I
in a tent.
I didn't even wear. I had to hold my vest, and I was wearing my Sepultura vest, which is just actual vest, not a battle jacket. Which is a Third World Posse tour shirt from I can't remember what year, but not just me flexing on my one nice vest. Don't even wear it now because it's literally falling apart. But yeah, we're going back this year to Bloodstock. 2 of us are. Finn didn't go for it this year.
I decided not to. No,
I didn't do it for you, did it?
no.
It's fair enough.
Yeah, well, it definitely did it for me and Jack.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are you going for, Jack? What days?
So it's my first time going as well.
Oh,
I've never
really?
been to Bloodstock before.
Nice.
Most of this Friday and the Saturday didn't really do it for me.
How can you say that? An Emperor.
I know. I mean,
Nailbot.
they're one of the only of the other bands I would actually have gone to see.
Undead.
Sunday,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Starting off with Mastodon, then going into Gojira,
Yeah.
which for me is like, that would be like a dream tour to go to.
Well, it is.
Don't care
This
who
is-
headlines,
yeah.
but so that was the main pull for me to go.
And have you seen either of them before?
Not seen either of them
Wow.
before.
Wow.
And that's Mastodon's one of my favourite bands as well.
Yeah.
I've still not seen them live. So
Mastodon are also one of my favourite bands. I'm wearing my original Leviathan shirt
Love
right
that.
now, which has got the label on the Battle Record label. So it's proper original, really really nice. again, I'm just flexing my shirts.
You are just
Going
flexing
on,
your
oh,
t-shirts. What
God,
the
I
hell?
know. I love Mastodon. So yeah, I've seen them quite a few times, and they are like absolutely phenomenal musicians, but they don't have a lot of crowd interaction,
Yeah.
like almost none. I'd say they come out, they play their set, and they leave.
Yeah,
But
fair enough.
it works for me. You know, I'm there because I absolutely love the music, and that's what I'm getting out of it. But yeah, I'm super excited to see them. And you're not seeing Gojira.
Not seen Gojira before either, so that's a really big pull. I heard
Yeah,
that
that'll
their shows are
Yeah,
insane.
have you seen them, Finn?
I've never seen them. No.
No, I've seen them a couple times, and I think the last time I saw them was at Alexandra Palace, and that was like one of the roughest gigs I've been to. Like the crowd, the swaying, you know, the I don't know what you call it when everyone moves at once. It was just so rough.
Yeah.
But I just absolutely phenomenal. Like it's just a wall of sound that hit you. So I'm excited to see them.
Yeah, it's going to be
again.
really good.
But yeah, Mastodon in particular, this is something we've got to go into a little bit because it's Mastodon, but it would be the first time that I'm seeing them with a new lineup.
Yeah.
And your first time seeing them at all, and it's not what we expected.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Sadly, Brent made the decision to leave the band.
The lead guitarist.
Yeah. And one of the three vocalists, who I would argue has the most distinctive voice out of all the three of them as well.
Yeah, it's sad. You know, like he's been suggesting for a while that he was going to leave or wasn't quite happy with.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't like heavy metal as much as he liked other music. And you could tell some of his influences of more like bluesy, what was it, jazz, country stuff almost.
Mix of like blues rock.
Yeah.
Jazz,
a lot of that stuff was becoming more, you know, clear in their later albums. But yeah, he's decided that it's not for him anymore. So that's going to be weird to see, you know. I know they've done a few gigs with this temporary replacement, who I don't think does any vocals. So I think they're going to have to split his vocals across the other guys a bit more.
Yeah.
But he's also just such a distinctive member of the band. I mean, they were all original members.
Yeah.
You know, there's not like they've had mixed lineups in the past, but as it's, you know, one of our absolute favorite bands, it's a shame.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm also intrigued to see how they're going to do it.
Yeah. Bill, the other guitarist, was talking about, because they've been going with the sort of more melodic and a lot more hard rock influenced music the last, well, even since Once More Around the Sun, really. And that's that's ages ago that album came out.
Like over 10 years ago.
Yeah. So they're wanting to sort of bring it back to Remission, or at least Remission, Leviathan sort of influence.
Yeah.
Shorter songs, faster songs.
I mean, Mother Puncher is probably my favourite Mastodon song, like off Remission.
Yeah.
But also every single song off Leviathan is like, it's just
10
unbelievable.
out of 10 song.
Yeah, it's 10 out of 10. So if they go back to something like that, I'm stoked. But it's going to be weird seeing them live without. But I've seen them live a few times this summer. They're like, Mastodon and Gojira seem to be doing most of the European festivals.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see them, a few times. So I think I'll have reached a decision on what I feel like after the summer. I think the first show will just be like taking it in, and then I think I'll keep an eye on the new guy more maybe in the other shows and just see how it goes. But excited to go back to Bloodstock. Either way, it's going to be great. You're just doing the day, right?
Just
I think
Sunday.
I think I'm going to be doing. I think I'm doing the whole thing. You know, making some content about all the battle jackets again, which will be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's what we've got coming up for Bloodstock.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah. So if you're going to Bloodstock, let us know, because we'll be there. I'll definitely be there the whole time. Jack will be there on Sunday.
Yeah.
Want to meet you guys, hang out, see your jackets. So if you're coming, let us know. Because Jack, you've not got anyone else to go, have you?
No,
we're just going to be there. So.
Yeah, we're just going to be there.
Yeah.
So
my dad and brother are also coming on the Sunday because they're massive fans of Mastodon and Gojira. And I think my girlfriend is coming as well, Molly. So there'll be a group of us. So it's going to be Finn. You know, it's not too late.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I think Sunday tickets are sold out.
Oh
so.
no, it is too late.
It is too late.
now.
Done.
Plus, I want to give Finn a ticket.
Go on, guys.
Tag him in the comments. Yeah, maybe. This kind of leads into a smaller thing that I want to talk about is how battle jackets make it so easy to talk to other people.
Yeah.
So I'm somebody who I find it very cringe, not even cringe, just hard to go up and approach people and strike up a conversation. I'm very happy to talk to people. I enjoy talking to people, but it's that first going up and doing it, which I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
Which you might be surprised to think, because I literally have a whole channel where I go up to people and ask them about their jackets. But it's taken quite a while to get to that point.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've been able to do that is because battle jackets make it so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
People are literally wearing conversation starters.
Mm-hmm.
I can go up to someone and be like, I love that patch, and it's just an instant thing that that you're gonna connect over.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes a conversation starter so easy. And that's pretty much how I've approached everyone who I've ever done a video with. I've said they like that patch, and then they've gone, people love being complimented on their jacket.
Yeah.
They put so much effort, time, and money into them. It's nice to be recognized for that. So it's a really easy way to do that. So if I come up to you at Bloodstock and say, oh, I really like your jacket, let's have a chat, because that's what I'm trying to do here. But somebody made a comment, I can't remember who it was, that's actually quite battle jackets are quite similar to tattoos in that sense.
Yeah.
Because you're visibly displaying your love for something. Yeah. And a lot of metal tattoos are quite similar. I don't think I've ever approached anyone because of that, but I definitely see how you could.
There's noticeable, you
it is
spot artwork off from a mile.
Yeah. And Jack is, if you're watching, you'll see that he's got some tattoos.
I've got a few of them.
If you're listening, he's literally a walking advertisement for about 75 bands on his jacket. And then how many bands on your arms?
Got 5.
5
on my arms.
Yeah. So even when Jack doesn't have his vest on, he's
still advertising.
Repping. He's as true cult as it gets.
It's proper true cult.
He is. So speaking of tattoos, we might as well have a little walk
about
through.
them.
So what have we got?
So I'll start off the first tattoo I got. Got a sparrow on my right forearm.
Yeah.
Mastodon related tattoo.
It is.
So I've got a song called The Sparrow. It's got the lyrics, the only lyrics from that song as well, which is Pursue Happiness with Diligence. Won't go into too much detail, but it's an important song for me. Yeah. Pretty much.
It's a great song.
And for context as well, all my tattoos are black and white and a sort of stippled shading. There's no colour involved in it at all, which is very different to the jackets that I wear. Yeah. Which is quite funny. So that's the first one I got done. Next, on the top of my right arm is an Anubis tattoo, which is Septic Flesh related because of their song Anubis, which if you haven't listened to it, we probably have if you haven't listened to it because it's really, really good. Then
you saying listen to it and pointing at the cameras is becoming a common theme.
Listen to it. That's what I'm here for. And then so I got that done first. That one was my second one, both separate sessions. Then I got 3 done at the same time. Yeah. So start off my left forearm. It's an Iron Maiden, Power Slave, King Tut, Pharaoh sort of Eddie. Very noticeable, easily recognisable. But
for sure.
As you saw in the last episode, Power Slave and Iron Maiden were the first album that I properly fell in love with. So I had to rep them. Gojira, got a whale on my right arm.
A flying whale.
So kept it similar to was it From Mars to Cyrus, that album. Yeah. So rather than just sort of copy the artwork, it's a whale and there's moons and stars and stuff.
Yeah, it's nice.
Wrapped around it. And then to finish off with Celestial Sanctuary tattoo, of course, I have to have one of those. Got more planned.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But we won't see those until I get them done. So that's taken from one of their T-shirts. Just one of my favourite art prints that they made. It's nice. Just I guess you could say punky sort of skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just your standard skull. It's got a couple pipes going into it, spikes,
the classic
air vents,
pipes.
The pipes. And at the moment, the sort of vents, on the mouth sort of thing, Yeah. But so that's all that I've got at the moment. I've got more ideas of what I want to get done. quite a few ideas. It's more finding the time and the money
Yeah,
to get them done.
Very fair. Very
But
fair.
hopefully this is ages away, by the end of the year at least, I'll have a few more. But we'll see.
That's Jack's tattoo tour.
Yeah, we'll put some pictures
We
up
will
as
put
well.
some pictures up. And yeah, they're very cool. And now we're going to have a tattoo tour from Finn.
Yes. I have none. That's my tattoo tool.
Okay. And yeah,
Louis,
carry on. You
Louis,
could.
do you want to take yours?
I'll take over on this one. So I also have none, but because I'm scared of needles, and I'm also like so not impulsive, so I overthink everything anyway.
Yeah.
And the thought of putting something on my body and deciding later on that I don't like it
Would haunt you.
absolutely terrifies me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have none, and we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You never know.
Yeah, my girlfriend Molly is staring at me from behind the camera now, who's doing a tattoo apprenticeship now, and is very much wanting to practice on me. But yeah, we'll see if she passes the course first. But no plans at the moment. Have you got any plans to get anything?
No plans set in stone. I do want some at some point. I'm just very indecisive. My main thing that I'm like 90% sure I want is Autopsy, Severed Survival, the kind of surgeon face. I really want that because that is one of my favourite albums of all time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Where would you have it?
I reckon Arm is probably a safe space to start on.
I'd say it's the safest place to start. Just
You always have your sleeves cut off as well.
Yeah.
So you've got like prime retail space.
Unless it's like snowing, I probably won't have sleeves on, so it's always good.
It's quite funny because in the first episode we did a £10 merch challenge where we all bought a different T-shirt for a tenner, and the idea was that I would buy one for one of the other guys and vice versa. So we'd be buying shirts for each other. But I think we all ended up buying shirts of just bands that we liked ourselves. But so I think we'd silently agreed that we were just going to keep the ones that we picked. And then Finn put a message into the group chat a few days ago. He's like, just to clarify, we are keeping those shirts, right? And I was like, why is that, Finn? He's like, I am cutting the sleeves off now.
Sleeves do not last long on my T-shirts, I'll be honest.
You always have no sleeves, but you also have colourful shirts and stuff. So for style, Finn's the guy in this group. Yeah,
100%.
Anyway, that's the end of that section. We're going to carry on with our podcast battle jacket.
Yes.
Which is still yet to be sewn. I think we must have done 9 patches so far.
We're going to have a lot of patches.
Yeah.
So after today, we'll have another 3. And that's enough to get going.
Yeah.
That's enough to get started. So to recap, we will have done the worst patch possible.
Yep.
The hardest to read patch.
Yep.
Last week we did the bands that got us into metal.
Yep.
So we got 2 Maiden patches from you guys. Really keeping a lot of different genres on this fest.
Yeah.
Metallica one from myself. And today we've gone with a shaped patch.
Yeah.
So that's shaped in my head generally means like a cutout to a shape patch. But I mean, you can get patches in all different shapes. Yeah. So we're going to see what the guys have brought. And after this, I promise I will start sewing the jacket and getting it together. So the next episode, we can show you how it's looking at the moment. Yeah. And
added.
Yeah, exactly. So who's going to show their patch first?
I'm happy to show off my one first. So I know we didn't have a massive sort of criteria for the shaped patches. No. So I thought it fits it. I mean, they're all shapes anyway. So I went for a Celestial Sanctuary logo patch.
You did.
Which it's got a cool little story behind it.
It does.
As well. So that's great. But I think logo patches are a classic staple for most jackets.
For sure.
It's a safe way to get lots of different bands on. Sort of like when we spoke about cams. Yeah. You can get loads of them on there.
You really can.
But so I thought this is just a great, and it's not like just one sort of like it's not just a standard square, standard rectangle.
It's cut out to the
logo. It's cut out to the shape of the logo, which I think makes it just a little bit more interesting. But
go on. What's the little story?
The little story. So we were going to see Celestial Sanctuary down in Brighton with Suffocation, but had to pull out for medical reasons, which is fine.
Yeah.
But then you ended up going to see them at
Ballroom?
at the Electric Ballroom with
Kerry King.
supporting Kerry King. They announced their EP was going to be on this sort of limited edition vinyl. They signed it, dated it, and all this sort of stuff. And patches came with it. I sadly could not make the date because I had no money in my bank account. You were going. So I asked you to pick up one for me.
Yeah.
Which you very kindly did.
I actually messaged them because I was going to be late and they only had a limited number of them.
There was about 50 of them or something.
Really?
It was really small.
Wow.
And they were,
Press run.
They were all only at that show.
Yeah.
So it was 50 made for that show. There wasn't 50, you get them online, and, you know, they were literally at that show. So I messaged them and I was like, hey, because, you know, they follow and like my stuff, and that's really cool. So I was like, I am coming. Please, can you put one aside for me and one aside for my friend Jack? And they know who Jack is.
They know who I am, yeah. Every single tour I'm there, one-off shows, I'm there.
He's die hard on the barrier every time.
Yeah.
So they were like 100% will put two aside for us.
Which is great.
So yeah, when I got
It shows how nice they are, those guys, as well.
really, really lovely guys. So yeah, picked those up. Came with a patch, but I quite like keeping the patch with the vinyl because it came like that.
Yeah.
In my head, it's a little package, and I don't think I'll sew that patch onto anything.
Yeah.
I'll just keep it. I'm saying this. I told you earlier when you came to mine, I've lost the vinyl. I don't even know where it is, but it's somewhere in the house, and the patch is still with it as far as I know.
It's there
So
somewhere.
yeah, but that's a pretty
Yeah, so I
pretty
thought I'd go with this
generous
one.
donation to the podcast fest.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool. And to be fair, I couldn't make a vest and not put a Celestial Sanctuary patch onto it.
Exactly.
You know, I kind of have to.
Fair enough.
But I think
Yeah.
it shows sort of different types of shaped patches you can get.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just your standard shape. But yeah, so that's what I chose.
Speaking of standard shapes, Finn,
Yeah. To clarify, we did not have a lot of time to come up with this.
tell them how long.
Last night, I think you said. I had two sort of lying around. One of them is just a plain circle, toxic thrash metal for Toxic Holocaust.
Nice.
I really like the patch. It's
Is it a woven, embroidered?
embroidered. It is. Yeah, it's got toxic thrash metal around the outside and the kind of classic skull. They're kind of doing a lot of their patches and stuff.
Yours is embroidered too, Jack.
Yeah, embroidered, just black and white.
So to clarify, embroidered is like thicker thread, and it's like a 3D effect. You
Yeah.
can feel it.
Yeah.
So it's not a print, but it's not a woven one. Woven ones are like finer threads and flush.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are these are really nice patches anyway. So yeah. Sorry, Finn.
Yeah, so that was my circle one, which is not the most exciting shaped patch you could do, but
A shape.
It is a shape.
As Jack said, they're all shapes.
Yeah.
yeah, I had one more which is more sort of suited to this challenge, I'd say, which is my Sodom, also embroidered, sort of cut out with the logo and the kind of weird army soldier guy with a machine gun and a chainsaw.
That is a nice
really
shape.
cool.
I really like it, and yeah, it should look good on the jacket.
Should we put it the right way round? The
It
Sodom
could
logo.
be a Wodos one.
It could
A
be
few
Wodos
people,
patch.
if you don't know, there's a thing where people put their Sodom patch upside down. It says Wodos or Woodus, whatever you want to call it, because somebody put it on a jacket like that. I think.
Yeah, I think
By
someone had it
accident, they
upside
thought the
down.
logo was Woodus. So that's a bit of a thing. So maybe just to make the podcast jacket even better, it would be
might be a good
respectful
idea.
Oh, that's a
to
good
put it
idea.
on like that.
Yeah.
My shaped patch, again, I sent the message out last night saying, boys, we're doing a shaped patch. I had to look through my box. And I found one I've had for years and years and years and years and years and not put onto anything. And it is a Mastodon
Nice.
Very
shaped
nice.
patch. It's kind of a triangle shape, but if you can see, it's cut out to the design.
Yeah.
So
A little bit of a border on it as well.
yeah, it's going to be not the easiest one to sew on. It is a woven patch, so really, really nice detail and nicely done. But if you look at all of the the little edges and bits where it sticks out, that's going to be a bit of a ball ache to sew on.
That's gonna take a
But,
while.
looking at your guys' jackets and what you were saying about cutting out patches, this feels almost like it is one of those cut out patches, because I could imagine that as a square patch.
Yeah, and then you would take the logo and the artwork out of it. Yeah,
You'd hunch over with with your needle
and my candle
and your candle.
Burning your fingers while doing it.
Saturday nights with Jack.
True
Incredible. True. Batman on in the background. But yeah, it's a cool patch. And I got this in a little bundle with a few other ones, I think from my dad, actually, years and years and years ago. And I think because of the shape of it, I never found the right space, because I don't layer patches exactly the same way you guys do, and you cover lots of different parts of the designs. I hadn't found a spot for it, but I'm sure we will find a spot for it on the podcast first. Cool. So those are the 3 patches that we have brought along today. Well, 4. Which one is it going to be, Finn?
I'm happy for you to take both, to be honest.
This
jacket.
jacket is
going to fill up quick.
Out. Yeah. It's gonna come along really nicely. So hopefully next time, God, this is a lot of patches to sew on.
Yeah.
So I think we agreed while Jack and I are on the way that each week a different one of us will take the vest home. It's gonna be cool.
Doesn't matter what you put on it.
The idea is that we'll actually still make it look good.
Yeah.
We don't want it to look rubbish. The only rubbish patches are the ones from the first week anyway.
Yeah.
So
honestly,
bar those 3, it should be a jacket made up of patches that we like and bands we like. So it should, in theory, still be a really good battle jacket. Yeah. And I'm excited to actually finish that. Yeah. Still got to choose back patch.
Yeah.
Any ideas for back patch? Let us know. Comment, DM, donate to your back patches, perhaps. We need to think of something.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll find something.
Unless we did like a whole jacket that was just patches. Not for me though. Just saying.
I have seen it before.
It could be an idea.
Yeah, I've seen it before, but I don't know if it's personally for me. But
yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll find something.
Anyway, we're going to do the Mosh Pit Council now.
Yeah.
So I am going to grab my laptop and read off some of your guys' questions.
Nice.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, Josh Hagen, 122, says, how do you plan your jackets? Who wants to take that one away?
Ooh.
I'd say Jack does a lot of planning things.
I feel like I'll take this one start this one actually. Planning jackets, as we said earlier, I like to have pretty much all the patches that are going to go on, because I like to do more intricate layouts. I want to have all of them because I end up not being happy most of the time with how it looks.
In general,
in general, yeah. And I move them about so much that. Yeah. So I mean, I basically just take a handful of patches, be like, okay, I roughly want these ones in this area, and then just start placing things around them. How am I going to overlap them? What am I not going to do to them? What do I not want to cover? And then
there's a lot more thought that goes into it than you might think.
Yeah, there's a lot of planning. I mean, even the death metal one that I'm working on, I spent ages planning that. Yeah. Still adding things and moving things about that I end up not liking after maybe like a week or so, But it takes a long time and a lot of planning.
Yeah. Finn, same for you, or?
I think it depends on the jacket. I've done a couple themed ones, and for those I like to do, as Jack says, get all the patches first, and then just lay it out and just spend a good few days trying to get everything in the right place, trying to get it to look the way that I'm happy with. But I did a bit different with my everything vest, which I think I showed off in the first episode, which is, if you're watching, is this one here. This one has sort of evolved. It's very much, I started with kind of a layout, and I've just kept adding patches in different places, a lot of overlapping, a lot of layering, and I don't think it will ever finish. I think it will just keep going and keep growing.
Random things thrown into it,
Yeah, that's kind of how I do my jackets when I do them.
Nice. Hopefully that answers your question. I think it was Josh.
It was Josh, yeah.
Let us know if it didn't. We'll try again.
We'll try again.
Okay. This is just a statement from somebody.
Okay.
Jack, you're reading them. You're not supposed to read
them.
No,
I can't help myself.
I'm asking the questions. So somebody, I can't pronounce the name, Elux Lobo. They've just said that their vest is made up of stolen patches off the floor of mosh pits. So hey,
I mean, if that's what you got to do to get your patches,
we know patches are expensive.
yeah,
but
like some little patch goblin in the pit or something.
I mean, to be fair, the few times when I do go in mosh pit, I will always check my jacket when I come out.
Yeah.
Or if I've been knocked around a bit, I'm like, I know I've sewn them on, but I like to just reassure myself that they're all still attached. Clearly, that's for a good reason, because people like you, Onyx Laba or whatever your name is, are nicking them from people. I mean, I'd love to know what the patches you end up with from doing that are. Like,
that's a good point. Yeah, what one did you got?
Please send in a photo. We need to see this jacket because that's great. I think we'll do one more question, which is from James.uu. Have we ever discovered a band from just seeing a cool patch and checking them out from that?
Yeah.
100%.
Go on.
I would say the first one that comes to mind, I saw a bear mace patch.
Yeah.
And they're either American or Canadian. Really small death metal band, but it's like new school, old school death metal.
Nice.
And it's just, the best way to describe it is just your classic death metal, caveman sort of riffs, drumming, just in your face.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy, but it just hits the spot. And never would have heard of these guys if I didn't see this patch online. Listened to the album, bought the patch, because I was like, this is insane.
Well, you, Finn?
Yeah. Something quite similar to Jack. It was it's kind of like an oval-shaped patch for a band called Cryptic Mutation. They're quite a small death metal band. I saw it. It's got the same artist who's done like Municipal Waste and Toxic Holocaust and stuff. I think his name was Andrei Buzikov or something like that. Probably butchered that. Sorry. But yeah, the artwork was insane. The patch looked really nice. So I had to check them out. And I ended up buying the patch like Jack did. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I've definitely ended up doing that for probably quite a few of my patches. But I think I always, if I see a patch on someone's jacket, especially at one of my events, I'll always go and ask them what it is. If I think it's a cool patch, 100%. And then most of the times it's like a more obscure band, and those people love being asked what it is because that's a cool patch.
You get to nerd out about a band that you like.
So I wouldn't be afraid to ask someone if you see them, and you like their jacket and you like a specific patch, but you don't know who it is, ask them. Don't ask them to name 3 songs. No. Don't be that guy. But just, who's that band? Where can I check them out?
Yeah.
Most of the time, I think people are going to love the opportunity to talk about it. So, I think that wraps up the Mosh Pit Council. And better 3 questions than last week, I think. Yeah. But we're just going to finish off. I think when this episode comes out, there's going to be like a week or maybe even less than a week to go before the Underworld event, the London's Best Battle Jacket competition. Yeah. Which I know I go on about it every week, but I am so excited about it.
So sick.
It's crazy.
It's going to be so much fun. There's going to be, we're going to take over the venue for the day. So I've booked in like 10 or so different metal alternative market stalls going to be set up around. So you can come and have a look at that stuff. It's free entry anyway. Don't have to pay anything to come in. Check out the Underworld if you haven't already. Then we're going to be judging the vests in some kind of panel on the stage. You've got to figure that out. And, people will come up, show us their jackets. We're going to take I'm going to try and get a Polaroid camera and take a Polaroid photo of every single jacket there. So that I can have this nice little, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, put them all up behind us maybe and show everyone's jackets.
That's a cool idea.
That's a good idea.
People can come and just show us their jackets. We'll choose things based on like patch rarity, aestheticness or quality of stitching, all good stuff. No one's going to come along with like, oh, that's crap. We're just going to look at what you've done. Hopefully you'll want to show it to us.
Yeah, just have some fun with them.
Have some fun. And then, that starts at 12 at midday. 4 prizes at the moment are a Thunderflix membership, which is like Netflix, but just for metal movies and live concert footage. Anything to do with metal bands, it's on there. Yeah. So an annual membership to that, which is pretty cool. Very nice. Generous of them. Thank you, Thunderflix, for donating that. Then we're going to have, patch bundle for myself. I'm either going to pick out a bunch of patches and give them, or maybe say to someone, choose 10 or so from the stall that I'll have set up there. So one of those market stalls will be a dedicated patch stall from myself that my brother will be running. So you can come on, get some of your vest. Second place is the Nuclear Blast merch bundle and vinyl package. So that's going to be sick. It's going to be loads of stuff there, which is
really cool.
Expensive stuff, vinyls.
Yeah.
So,
Really
walking away with that
recently,
is going to be cool. Prize number one is obviously the year's worth of guest list at the Underworld. Any gig you want to go to in a year, you let them know you're on that list. Free.
Crazy.
I still can't get over that.
Somebody is going to come along to the event, just be
get
wearing
that.
their jacket, and they're going to walk away with guest list for a year.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Insane.
That is sick. So not only are we doing, so there's going to be the competition and the market stall. The bar down there is going to be open.
Yep.
They're going to be doing food, so you can get food, drink from the Underworld. And there's going to be like dedicated areas around the venue for working on your jacket. So I'm going to put out sewing kits. There's plenty of seating and areas where you can sit down there. There's going to be music playing all day. Work on your jacket. Have a look around the stall. Enter the competition. It's all free. Just come along, hang out. We want to meet you guys. I want to speak to you.
Yeah.
I want to check out your vests. So hopefully we'll see you Sunday, 27th of April from 12 till 7. And after 7, there's live music, bands playing for free. So just
really
come,
cool.
hang out for a day. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah. These guys are gonna be there.
Of course we
We'll be
will.
there.
So it won't just be me, which is nice. But hopefully, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And I think that wraps up the 4th episode of the Battle Jackets London podcast.
Yeah.
As always, if you've got any questions, topics, email in at battlejacketslondonpod@gmail.com or drop a comment or below. Give us a like if you like it and subscribe. And we're really enjoying this, really enjoying doing it.
great.
Yeah, it's
So
really fun.
hopefully you guys are too. All right. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Cheers.
See you.